Hello, everybody. It's lovely to be able to welcome you all to our celebrating International Women's Day and the challenges women face in 2025. As ever, we like to start our meetings with a moment of reflection where we can actually ground ourselves for what we're going to be hearing today. Today, we gather to celebrate International Women's Day, a day of reflection, recognition, and most importantly, action. This year's theme is accelerating action, and it is a powerful call to move beyond conversation into meaningful change. While we honor the achievements of women across history and in our own communities, we also acknowledge that progress must not slow down. From closing the gender pay gap to ensuring equal opportunities in leadership, education, and healthcare, there is still much work to be done. Acceleration means urgency. It means commitment. It means ensuring that every action we take today pushes us closer to a world where equality is not just an ideal, but a reality. Let's use this moment to inspire, to uplift and drive real impact, because when we accelerate action, we accelerate change. Like rivers rushing to the sea, like sparks igniting boundless dreams, the footsteps echoing forward, never turning back. This is our moment. This is our movement. Let's push, let's rise, let's make change unstoppable. Welcome to our group. We'd like to begin with a panel which will be looking at women's health and hygiene, but also engaging in spiritual resilience. Because Françoise and I have been working together in various groups, and she really impressed me when she was talking about what she's been doing in Cameroon. So please go ahead, Françoise, and let's hear more about what's been happening.
Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my story. And my name is Françoise Mahbooba. I was trained as a midwife, and actually I worked in several maternities as a midwife and as a consultant in maternal and child health. But I had this burning passion to work for the community when I did my public program, which was on primary health care delivery. I really saw the sufferings of the community. Not long after my master's degree, I had to resign from jobs to go to the community. And I want to tell you that many of my colleagues asked me, what a decision. Because during that master's program, I got some colleagues, we created an organization which was mainly made of healthcare workers. What we did then was, during our holidays, we go to different communities and give free healthcare. We buy drugs on our own, we give our services, and then we share ourselves, because amongst us, we had people from the pediatric department, people from medical, people from maternal and child health. So some we take the young girls, some we take the old people, so we share ourselves and render services and even give free drugs to different communities. And so it got to a time where we no longer have funds to do this thing on our own. But the passion was really there, and some of our colleagues could not continue with us since it was mainly volunteering. But it's an exciting experience when we went now community-based completely. And so we found ourselves in a local community where we have lots of refugees from Central Africa and Chad, as well as the real less privileged people in the community. And so what we do with them, our organization is called Family Health and Development Foundation. So when we come to a community, we take care of the family. It is not an individual we look after, because our slogan says, healthy family, healthy community, healthy nation. When the family is healthy, we know that the community is healthy. So we work with the community, engage them, and then the chiefs and the local authorities and elites in the community. So we keep moving as the need arises. How did we come into menstrual hygiene? We've been doing health programs because we are, most of us, health professionals, and then engaging also in climate change education, and then climate smart agriculture because of the malnutrition we saw in the community. And so we also saw that most people in our communities use funny things as pad. And we got this initiative to teach them how to stitch their own pad themselves. So what you are seeing here is not machine. There's no machine where you see us working. Nobody is using a sewing machine. We are teaching them how to stitch it themselves. And then at home, they can find, instead of using pieces of funny things, they could get some materials at home and stitch their own pad. And we're excited that our young boys during this program were also very excited. And when we're teaching them about menstrual hygiene, pregnancy, reproductive health, the boys were really asking interesting questions. So we got them involved. You can also see in our pictures, their mothers, because most of those children, their mothers are still very young. They're also in the reproductive age like the children. And so we cannot teach these young girls without teaching their parents. So you see, it's a kind of blend mix. And so we went searching for materials that are eco-friendly. So there is no plastic. So it is economically viable. So, and it took us time to know which material, and we keep trying. We have the top material. If you will play this video, you will see the top material that is different from the middle, that is different from the under. You see, so it took us time to do some research on which material can really hold water, that is able to hold also this blood from traversing. So we know we've done some work. And immediately we got that. It's true that there's an organization that helped us because they have done something like that. They gave us an idea, go to the market, when they see the material, taste it in this way and that way. That is how we came up with it. And so our eco-friendly menstrual hygiene pad is completely eco-friendly. There is no plastic in it. And so we got a small support from Sibling Keeper to initiate it because she was very excited with this work. And so she supported us to start this work. And we got materials that gave us about 2 trainings. We were able to carry 2 trainings before the money got finished. But it was just a one-time support that she gave to us. Go and try. And so when we did it, it was quite an interesting program in the community. And people were really, really interested, both the women and the children. Everyone had to sew his part. If you sew 3, 4, 5, you go home with it. No matter the quantity you sewed, you go home with it and you keep using it. Unfortunately, it's about a year ago we did this. We've not been able to raise money to carry out such a program. But our real intention is to carry it very far, because I bet you in the community, if you see what people are using, and then secondly, you can agree with me that even if they can afford pad, it's very low quality, which is not healthy as well. Those good pads are expensive and it is really out of their reach. If you can just imagine. And the first time we did training, we had to buy even pants. You see buckets with them. That bucket was, we had to teach them how to maintain this eco-friendly. How do you wash it? How do you keep it from odor? How do you maintain it? That is why we gave them buckets. You see in one of the pictures, there were buckets that we gave them. That bucket is for them to soak their pad, the pad that they have used, and to wash with it. And then we taught them how to use I've forgotten the name of this product. If you give me 1 minute. Bicarbonate to take off odor from the parts and really keep it sparkling. Bicarbonate. So that's another thing that we gave it. So inside the bucket, they had pans, they had bicarbonate, they had soap, they had really things that could help them wash and keep the part clean. Unfortunately, it was just a one-time event where since then we have still been looking for support to see how to scale this forward, and also machines so that we can do in big quantity and give to the communities and to different schools. We go to schools, we have a cupboard where we keep such materials for children that are in need. Immediately they get a stain in school, they can be sure that they will not be intimidated by the other students or by boys, and then they can help give themselves some support. So this was one of the days of our training. You see how we teach them how to place it. How to place the different material is very important. And these girls really, really amazed us. They did an amazing work. And so we are doing a kind of a family. I told you we are family health. So we go along with the parents and the children. And anything we have to do with the children, we seek consent from their parents. And sometimes the parents tell us, we also want to attend, we want to be there also, and we go with them. And also we've had opportunity to talk with them about the word of God, about their religious activities. In fact, we've been doing a kind of holistic care with this community that whenever we call them, they're there. We realized also during our training that they cannot read and write. When we say, okay, attendance list, how many people attended this training? Write your names. The children cannot write names, the parents cannot write names. So we organized a basic literacy program for them in June and July last year, which was quite amazing. We could see parents that have never been to school, but within 21 days, they could formulate words and read sentences until our national television came for the inauguration, for the final day of the program, to see how the children have stepped up and the women can now read, because we are going somewhere with them. I want to tell you that we are carrying these families very far. And during that period, we're able to talk about peace and non-violence, because some of them are refugees and they have experienced a lot of violence, and they don't have peace within themselves. The socioeconomic level is very low. They don't even know how life is going with them. But we really want to bring out these children. When we started 2 years ago, we paid fees for 20 children. And this last school year, we were able to pay fees for 60 children. And this year, many will be entering secondary school. And then we'll also be able to seek scholarship for other children in higher institutions. 4 of the children are in higher institutions. So we are carrying the family in this community along. Now we also realize that most of them have dental caries, for example. She saw the work we were doing. She said, Françoise, you are doing a tremendous work. Send me the pictures and I will put the video. I think it's Break Free from Plastic. Marisa from Break Free from Plastic. So when she saw our work, she said, you are doing a tremendous work. Send me the video. And then the day they were launching their Life Without Plastic, I think I was one of the speakers there. She's the one that put this thing. When I send her some of the work I do, she puts up this video. This is her work. So that's how people have been seeing what we are doing and supporting her. We don't have ongoing funding, but there's quite a lot of needs and a lot of activities we are doing in the community. So this is showing them how to trace it on the with the stencil before now they can cut. They have scissors to cut, and we train ambassadors amongst these children. When they come for training, those that do exceptionally well, we take them as ambassadors, and then we give them materials to go and train other young girls in their own local community. You can see the materials we are using them for yourself, that there is no plastic that was in this material, and then you see the finished product. So that's what we are doing as concerning our eco-friendly menstrual hygiene part in the community. But just like I said, we have many other activities that we are doing as far as climate change is concerned, as far as livelihood is concerned, as far as education is concerned, as far as a startup and skill And we really want to start up a vocational center in that community to get support. Thank you. I don't know if I spoke too much, but
No,
just a
thank you.
little.
Thank you, Françoise. That's absolutely brilliant. Because one of the things that Françoise and I have been talking about is it's really, really important to be able to have a not just trainings or just coming together, but it's also very, very important to build up what we call circles of trust and love. So what we've been working on is something we've called Women4Love, Women4Life. And I said it would be quite nice to just explain a little bit about what we've been doing with Women4Life. So the basic idea about behind Women4Life is to create safe spaces and engage in spiritual resilience. So what is an affinity group? In this case, it's a group of women, and it's actually not new. Women have always had circles where they've been in sewing circles or tea parties or round the hearth or in the kitchen. So the actual idea of women sharing circles is actually not new at all. It would be the place where they would come together. But I said it was taking on that idea of something which is very natural to women anyway. Let's see how we can make it, bring it into the 21st century. So this is when I was saying that many of our, I come from a pagan background, and we are quite used to having these sharing circles. Now, what are these circles actually based on? We actually have a set of what we call circle principles. Next slide, please. And what are the major circle principles? We create a sacred space, a safe space. Next slide, please. And we're actually creating circles of trust and love, an inner circle where there are specific guidelines. Some of those guidelines are actually very recognizable within interfaith in what we call appreciative inquiry. So this means often speaking, using sometimes what we call the talking stick, but it often means sitting in circle and having a center where we can focus on. Sometimes we call it an altar, but in any event, we have a circle with a center. And we ask people then, using this talking stick, to speak from the heart, speaking from our own experiences and beliefs rather than speaking for others. And it helps the participants to really go and feel that they can open without judgment and with the respect and with dignity from the other participants. In a circle, we also decide for ourselves what is going to be our way forward and how do we actually build up this circle of trust. We know that in different countries there are different values, different cultural norms, and so we've actually tried to emphasize that each of these groups are completely autonomous. They need to be able to look at their own communities and figure out what is actually necessary and how can we work together in what we call reciprocity. So the idea of autonomy and helping each other to become stronger by sharing those moments of fear, those moments that really are very, very difficult. We can have those difficult conversations. But the idea of coming together and depending and being able to look towards our other sisters is something which is very, very, very important. But above all, having fun and joy in creating harmony and peace. I'd just like to next slide, please. What do we actually mean by spiritual resilience? Dr. Simranjeet Singh said, resilience is about our ability to find hope and agency amid difficulty. And we know that today we're overwhelmed by the many crises, And to be able to really go beyond those difficulties is extremely difficult. But if we can build up this spiritual resilience, it's about maintaining a sense of purpose and meaning even during tough times. And it's like having an inner strength that helps us to navigate life's challenges. And this often comes from a deep connection with our own beliefs, from our own faith, for our own community, or even just, but for many of us, from nature herself. It's the ability to draw upon these sources of strength and stay grounded. What's better is to have the earth, to be standing on the earth and be grounded, no matter what life throws our way. Accessing that inner stillness is our greatest resource for resilience. Meditation practices show us how to find and know that point of stillness and discover the equilibrium, the harmony and inner peace that opens our vision, our understanding, wisdom, and capacity for compassion. No matter the situation, the solution is go straight to the goal, reconnect with your divine self, and live from your soul, and respond to the situation from the promptings of the soul. It's rather like, I would say, we have this conversation with our higher self, and it's knowing that we can rely on our own higher self, which brings us a great sense of peace. Next slide. Women in action. This is where we come in, spending time with family and friends or a community that shares the same values. It's extremely important. This may not be possible in real life. So what we're trying to do now is build up these circles of trust and love and communicate. Actually, I would say it's like communicating on the spiritual internet, because we can connect, we can visualize the circle of our friends, and we can visualize speaking and communicating at that particular level. So visualizing our own circle of trust and love, seeing those people who you love and trust, can be really empowering. But also maintaining daily practices of meditation, contemplation, or, as I always say, having a chat with the moon, can instill elements in ways that feel natural to us. The key is consistency and finding moments of peace and connection every day. By holding each other in our thoughts and prayers, we truly walk the world, and the world will bring us together. Thank you. I'd like to thank Margaret. We had a conversation yesterday, and as we were preparing for today's events, Margaret was totally inspired to provide us and share with us a moment of reflection. Margaret, would you like to share?
Before my hands could grasp a cup, my fingers knew how to turn a page. Before I knew what letters were, I found the word to end each line. The last word paused for me to have the thrill of telling the rhyme. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue. Black fish, blue fish, old fish, new. My toys were books. My dolls told stories. School was play and work and growth and belonging. It was the world where I was seen as smart, responsible, creative. It was the cradle that rocked me into a million possibilities. And for you, it was forbidden. Our bodies both bleed until they stop, or they never bled a drop. Women all are we. Our stories told, or bodies sold. Women all are we. Our gifts are nurtured, held in light, extinguished and kept out of sight. Women all are we. With parts that are known and parts that are grown, women all are we. So hold my hand, link arms with me. Let us look ahead. From here, we walk together.
Thank you, Margaret. It was absolutely beautiful and leads into our second section of our panel today, our second panel, walking together. And recently, while we're working on our Women4Life project, I started meeting many women from different walks of life, from different countries. One of the meetings I had recently was with Khatema, from living in Pakistan at the moment, but is originally from Afghanistan. I'd like now to introduce three very brave, very courageous ladies. I get very emotional, actually. I'd like to introduce you to Khatema, Mahbooba, and Suraya. Khatema, would you like to tell us what your challenges are in 2025? What are your challenges in general? Could you please go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes, sure. Hello, everybody. I hope you are all doing well. Thank you for giving me the chance to come here and share my story and the story of more than million girls in Afghanistan. I'm Khatema Fayaz from Afghanistan, but it has been about 4 years that I'm living in Quetta, Pakistan. From the time that the Taliban took the control of Afghanistan, I left Afghanistan to Pakistan. So if I talk, firstly, I want to say that unfortunately, I cannot say that Happy Women's Day for all women in the world, because while the world celebrating International Women's Day, women and girls in Afghanistan, they are really in a awful situation. They don't have the right to get education. They don't have the right to go outside for work. Even they don't have the right to choose what they want to wear. So in this case, we cannot say Happy International Women's Day. So if we talk about the challenges, I must say that which kind of challenges girls and women in Afghanistan don't have, because all the problems, they come together, they hand each other to come with women in Afghanistan. So I'm really sorry that women around the world still they are not united. They are not united. They don't work together to support each other. Though we have a lot of brave women around the world and also men that they support women's right, but it is not enough, especially when I think about myself as a girl in Afghanistan. So my existence is like a crime. So it means that I completely remove the society. It means that I'm not exist. I'm not, for example, a human. Even the Taliban don't see I myself as a, for example, I'm a girl. They don't see. They think that I'm animal. Maybe even they don't see me as an animal, because in other countries, the animals, they have some rights. At least the government defend their rights, but it is not for women and girls in Afghanistan. I'm really sorry to say this. For example, we are living in 21st century, but even most of the women, they don't know what is their rights. So they don't know that what should they do. Even I myself, before 5 years ago, I didn't know what is my right. Mostly when they disturb me, when the society was disturbing me, that you are a girl, you must not do this kind of work, this. So I said, yeah, I'm a girl, I should not be like this. I should not go to school. I should not, for example, travel to other country alone or something like that. So, if we talk about the problems of women in Afghanistan, while the world celebrating the International Women's Day, more than 100 girls and women in Afghanistan, each night they lose their breathing under the pressure of Taliban, under the, for example, Taliban fooding them with their legs, with their foods, and they kill the girls. So how we can say, for example, it is always a question for me that I say, what can I do for girls and women in Afghanistan in this situation? When I see in a meetings, for example, online meetings or physically meetings, some women, it's a pin in my heart that I will always ask them, what can I do for girls and women in Afghanistan, that they are under the control of Taliban, even they can't go outside alone. They must have a mahram with themselves. So it is the huge problem that women and girls have in Afghanistan. What kind of problems can be more than this? If you don't have the right to wear the things that you like, if you can't go outside for working, if you even can't breathe freely, your stress, your life, the whole life, your days, you are not full of stress. So what we can say for this kind of situation? It's all the problems. Even, when a mom burn a child, that mom die on that moment because of because there is no doctor to cure her or to take care of her child. So it is the problem. If girl don't have the right to get education, how they can help each other in a part of healthcare, Medicare? So it's the problems. Maybe all of you heard about the condition of girls and women in Afghanistan. They can't get education, they can't go to school, they don't have the right to, for example, go outside freely. Our life is full of stress. Actually, I myself, now I'm living in Pakistan, so my situation is not that much good than girls that they are under the control of Taliban, because I'm living here illegally. It would be the hardest moment when you are sitting with your family, the police knock your door and arrest the whole family to deport back to Afghanistan on that situation. The children cry because they are afraid of police. So it is the hardest moment that I have experienced 2 times when I came as a refugee in Pakistan. So they come and knock your door, you're with your family, they arrest I myself, my family, my brother, and they wanted to deport my brother back to Afghanistan. He is in danger. So it is the hardest moment, moment that we experience as a refugee. Also, we don't have the right to continue our education here. We don't have the right to, for example, work here because we are illegally here. All the women that they came from Afghanistan and Pakistan, they have such a kind of challenges. But fortunately, when I taught with myself, I opened a literacy school for women. That women, those women that they are from different parts of Afghanistan, they came here as a refugee. Opened a center that they come together in this center. We are teaching them writing, reading, English language, and also beside of this, we have some seminar about their health, how to take the care of their children.
Is Mahbooba, are you online? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you please take over, because I think you're in different places, but could you tell your story as well? And then when Khatema comes back, then but would you continue the story, because you are
Okay.
sisters, aren't you? Yes.
Yeah, we are sisters. Hello, everybody. I hope you all are doing well and be fine. And thank you so much for dedicating the time for me. I am Mahbooba Fayaz, Khatema Fayaz sister, and as Khatema mentioned, we are actually from Afghanistan, but we are living in right now in Pakistan. So as you heard, and I'm sure you know about the difficulties, the challenges that Afghan girls are facing in Afghanistan. We had to travel in Pakistan, and we are living here illegally. Khatema and I, we created a group of 7 members, which all members of our group are women education advocates, and all of them. We created this group to teach women how to read and write. Besides this, we created this group to lead women leadership in Afghanistan, not just in Afghanistan, around the world. So every day we are going in our school, we are teaching for mothers. We have 360 women in our school that they are busy with getting education. Besides this, we empower them to believe their abilities and to believe which women rights are human rights and human rights are women rights. And if you ask me what is the most difficult part of my job, I would tell you the most difficult part of my job is that make the woman to believe that they are part of this society. They must be part of this society, and their right is equal to men right, and there should not be gender discrimination, and they are human being. They must believe themselves as human being. Believe me, every day I'm talking about these titles with them, and fortunately, and the first day of my class, I had 45 students. I asked them to take a photo as memory. None of them, none of them agreed. They said because we are not allowed. So we should not take photo because they said lots of reasons. But after 6 months, when we were giving them training and we were talking about the women right, after 6 months they are playing football and we are making their videos, and they have no problem with these things because they believed themselves as human being, and they believed which it is their right to make a decision about their life and parts of their life. So now every day we are talking about these titles with them, and we try to empower them, not just about getting education, about creating the jobs for each other, helping each other, being kind with each other, and also believe each other as human being, and also solving their family problems and how to lead their families. about these things. So when we created our group and we created our school, we just did not mean that we lead women leadership in Afghanistan by, for example, throwing the Taliban out of Afghanistan. We want to create or lead women leadership in Afghanistan like this, that one day a Talib takes the hand of his daughter and lead her at school or university. We want to become as much powerful with our students that one day the Taliban themselves agreed that they open the doors of schools and universities for women, and they themselves want us to go to get at school and university for getting education. I believe, I'm sure, fortunately, nowadays that I can see for the first day when we started our school, I did not believe which we can create these things in Afghanistan, these beliefs in the mind of women. As I could see my students, all of them, they had lots of limited thoughts and beliefs about the woman. Most of the time, whenever I was talking, even they themselves, though they are women, they disagreed with me. They were arguing, which no, you are saying like this. For example, a woman has the right to get out of home even for getting education, like these things. They were coming at our school and they were talking that you must close this school because you want to somehow take the women, their thoughts and beliefs to other side of the society, make them against the clergy about these things. After that, when we were talking with them, fortunately, they themselves were joining us and they themselves agreed to open the school for women, and also then even they themselves were coming in our school for getting education. It was great experience for me, and fortunately I can see and I can say which we could create lots of differences in our society by empowering the women about believing their rights and their abilities. Thank you.
Your words are so important, and we will try. One of the things about Women4Life, of course, is that we're trying to help people hear more of these stories. So there will definitely be a follow-up to this, of course. I'd just like now to introduce Suraya. Is she still with us?
Yeah.
Oops. Excellent, excellent. So we had a lovely conversation yesterday, of course, but could you now share your stories with our esteemed participants?
Yeah. So warm greetings to all estimated participants. Today I stand before you as a girl from heart of Afghanistan and a land where women wake each day to darkness but carry the light of hope within. 8th of March, International Women's Day, is more than a date on the calendar for us. It's a reminder of the silent struggles and unspoken dreams of Afghan girls and all girls around the world. Those whose voices have been stifled and classrooms locked, yet whose hopes remain unbroken. On this day, I'm speaking not just from myself, but for every Afghan girl. Though surrounded by hardship, we carry a flame of hope, knowledge, and resistance, then no force to extinguish. So let this day be a call to the world to stand beside us, to hear our stories, and walk with us in our flight for education, equality, and freedom. So this is me, Suraya Mohammadi, an Afghan girl who right now lives in Quetta, Pakistan, and I'm from Afghanistan, and as well a peace activist, a human rights activist, and as well as a co-founder of the Hamdali Association. So today I'm here to share the story of myself, to share the story of Afghan girls and all girls around the world. So as Our story began from 2021, from August 2021, when Afghanistan just went to a dark situation as the time the Taliban took over to Afghanistan. From 20 years ago, again, they just took over Afghanistan. So our main story, my real story, started from there. From that day, I just understand my power and my right. As the time that Taliban, they banned the doors of schools and universities for us. As the time that they apply lots of rules against us, on that time, I just understand my power, that a Talib is afraid of the power of women and girls, afraid of power of getting education. But the most important thing is this, that as the time that Taliban applied all rules against us, it was this, that we didn't give up. We say that, okay, Taliban, they have their own game, but we are going to have our own game. We are going to have our own dreams. So I am talking as a girl, which I was born in a country which we all experiences war. From the day which I was born and up to now that I'm 17 years old, all the day we just experiences bombing, explosion, and sound of gun. So from these things, I just realized the power of peace, that if a country has or live in a peace, it's a much better than living in a war. So today I stand here and I'm talking with you, not just from myself, but as the leader and the representative of millions of girls, not just in Afghanistan and around the world. And as a girl, which I am when I was in 8th grade at the school, so there was a big explosion, 3 big explosion in my school by the name of Said al-Shahada School, which was a school that around 7 girls, they were studying over there. So just because of our gender, just that because we were girls, so our school was bombed. Even you can imagine that at the time I was just 12 years old or 13 years old, and I just lost my friends in front of my eyes. I just saw a body without its head, a body without its leg, a body without, somehow it was very, so I cannot share with you about the situation on that day. But after coming to the home, after all the things that I just saw on that day, on that explosion, that we just lost around 200 girls, which were around 18 years old, 17 years old, 16 years old, or 12th grade. We lost them. I lost my friends just because of war, just because of explosion. On that day, which I just want, on that day that I just came to the home, I just said to my family that it doesn't matter. We are not going to give up. Though we lost our friends, but I'm going to continue their way. I'm going to continue their dream. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to hurt as much as I can to just, for example, do what I can do to stop this, because I don't want to lose another of my friends. So after the coming of Taliban, we just decided to not be silent. We just decided to share our voice, to say the world what's happening in Afghanistan, about the girls, about the women, that they are deprived of everything that they have. So we just decided. So on that time, I was at Kabul. This is 3 months that I'm coming from Afghanistan to Pakistan due to the difficulties and the threats that I faced. So I was just decided, and we just, lots of girls came together, and we told that we should do something. It's not something very good that we should sit and we should cry that Taliban, they banned. No, we are going to do the work that we can do. So we decided, and we just met our association by the name of Hamdali. Hamdali, it's a Persian name, and in English we can say that a group of people, they gather together with one heart, and they are doing the same thing that they want. So we just create this association, and we just decided to teach women, because we know that the main big challenge that right now Afghanistan and the people of Afghanistan are facing, that their mothers, the children, and the women, they are illiterate, means they are not educated. So we decided to take action. We said that we are going to start from ourselves. We are not going to wait for others to help us. Ourselves, we are going to join together and we are going to work. So we, according to 12 girls, we just as well create this association, and we just talked with colleges. Colleges in Afghanistan, they are like as Taliban. Their mentality about the women and girls. So we just decided to talk with them, to share with them the value of getting education for a woman. Because if a woman gets education, it means the whole society can be improved. If a woman gets deprived of education, it means that the whole society is going to face the darkness, going to face the difficulties. So we talked with colleges, though it was very hard because they are as the Taliban. But we just decided to talk with them 3 times, 4 times, and after that we just talked with him, and he was agree to for example, give us this opportunity that we can start our classes in mosques. So when we just went through the mothers, and we just collect all the mothers through the mosque, and we shared our programs with them, and we shared the value of getting education, and we shared from them that they should be the supporter of their girls. On that, if I can say about the situation that in Kabul, living in a Kabul, it's not easy. If you were, for example, still if you be a girl or a woman, because all the time you're going to see Talibans that they're going to distract you, they're going to disturb you because of your gender. But we just collect all women and we say that we are here with you, we are going to help you, that you should get education. And after that we start our program, and there it was. Though the situation was hard, but every time that I just entered to mosque and talk with mothers and teach them, I just realized the real power of being a woman, the real power of being a girl. And as the time that mother, they shared with us, as the time that they were just talking with each other, they were talking about their talents, they were the most beautiful experiences that I had. And it was somehow very beautiful, because this is the dark situation, but we change the situation in our thing that we want, and it was really beautiful. But the main problem which I want to share with you all of this is that this is we just did it in a part of Kabul, but there are lots of places in Afghanistan and around the world that women and girls, they are facing lots of difficulties because of their gender. It's not just about education. For example, women and girls, they are deprived of everything that, if you can imagine, that a human being it has. So the thing which I want to share with you as a girl is this, that we should just join together, because doing these things, changing the world, changing the mentality, and doing great things, it's not just going to be done by one person. So we just need a community, a big community, that they're going to come together for doing better. We need to change this world, because I am in this belief that we should just give a better world to our next generation. And right now, this is my responsibility. This is the responsibility of all of us as a human being, that we can have a better world. We should not let this world to go like this. We should stop wars, because wars, they are the first thing that they're going to kill the humans. We should just improve love, humanity, and as well equal rights for every people as they deserve it. And this is going to happen when all of us just give hands to hands together and work, not just for Afghanistan or not just for another countries, for all the world, because we are in my idea right now, the future is on our hand. We are the future leaders, and if we want to have a better world, so this is my responsibility and all of us to work. So I am calling all of you to join us. We should have lots of projects. We should work a lot, because if we don't work, so we should wait. We are not, for example, in this situation that we should wait for others, because change starts from ourselves. If today I change myself, so the world is going to be changed with my view. So this is the thing that we should focus on. So let's join together. Let's work together. And will bring love, bring a smile, bring happiness to the family of every world, and especially to women and girls, and to tell them that you are not alone, and we are together. We are going to make the world much beautiful than right now. And I'm hopeful that it will happen because we are here and we are going to work. And thank you so much. And I hope that in the future, we are going to have a world with more happiness, with more joy, and with a world that everyone is happy and with their families. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you ever so much. All of you, you've been absolutely amazing. And I've really been thinking how, and connecting with all of my other my networks, of course, with Celeste and with Françoise and many other people, Catherine as well, I think she's still here. There is a growing group of us now, the Women for Life. As I say, it's important that we create these safe spaces. It's important that all women are autonomous, that they are not alone, but they are also able to become what they want to become. And if any of us can help in that journey, it also helps us. We believe in this sense of reciprocity, sharing, and we often find that when we are able to share, it brings, of course, a lot of joy to us, but also we start realizing how much we are also being healed in many respects. So thank you very, very much again for your time and your courage with coming forward with your stories, because I know how difficult it is being in the situation you are. I can't always imagine all the situations. I'm not saying I understand everything, but this is the moment when we can start sharing. And hopefully, I'm appealing now to all the women who are in education. If you can offer any kind of help, we may even start a Teachers for Life. I was just saying to Celeste that we have affinity groups, Nurses for Life, Midwives for Life. I think it really would be very good for us all as educators to have Teachers for Life. This whole concept of coming together and sharing our experiences is for me so vital. And I think it's the only way forward, but that all of us need to be courageous. So thank you again. But I would just like to finish with a couple of words of thanks, and also to perhaps give you a little moment of reflection. So as we close today, let us carry forward the spirit of accelerating action. The conversations we've had, the stories we've shared, and the commitments we've made must not end here. Change happens when action becomes a habit, when momentum turns into lasting impact. To all our speakers, organizers, and each one of you have joined us today, thank you, thank you, thank you. Your voices, your efforts, and your passion are what drives progress. Let's leave here not just inspired, but determined to push harder, to uplift one another, and to accelerate the future we all deserve. Together, we don't just celebrate change, we are the change, we create it. Thank you, and let's keep moving forward. Voices rising strong, pushing forward, breaking change. Change must happen now. Happy International Women's Day. Thank you all ever so much, and keep in touch. Thank you.